Good afternoon. Thanks for being here today. In recent months, Jacksonville has experienced a significant increase in auto thefts of certain models of Kias and Hyundais. This local upsurge in auto thefts pertaining to these specific vehicle brands is reflective of a nationwide trend. Between 2021 and 2022, there has been a 95% increase nationally in thefts of these types of vehicles. Last year in Jacksonville, 198 of these vehicles had been stolen year to date. This year, already 711 of these vehicles have been stolen. By learning fairly uncomplicated means of hotwiring these brands on social media sites like YouTube and TikTok, individuals have been stealing keys at a rate across the country. In fact, earlier this year, these automakers agreed to pay a large monetary settlement in a consumer class action lawsuit pertaining to losses related to vehicle thefts. Additionally, these companies offered software upgrades to over 8 million U.S. vehicles without anti-theft immobilizers to help curb increasing car thefts using the method popularized on social media platforms. Today I'm joined by dedicated detectives from our Auto Crimes Division who have been working strategically with other specialty JSO divisions to address this explosion in Kia and Hyundai auto thefts. Together we announced the arrest of 7 juveniles who were responsible for a rash of auto thefts of these cars. Each juvenile was arrested for multiple felonies, including auto theft charges and robbery charges. The oldest juvenile arrested is 15 years of age, and disturbingly, the youngest juvenile arrested was a 10-year-old. These juveniles are not gang or group affiliated, but they are responsible for sprees of crime this summer all over Jacksonville. During this investigation, detectives learned that the younger juveniles were groomed by the oldest juvenile to commit these auto crimes after they self-educated themselves on the methodology available on YouTube and TikTok. They stole these vehicles from across the city, not for profit, but rather to joyride and impress girls. These juveniles were arrested on August 2nd after the JSO Communications Center received active reports of a rash of crimes committed by a group of juveniles. JSO detectives deployed to the area and observed these young men in a stolen red Kia Rio. When the detectives attempted to stop the stolen car, the suspects fled from the police. Eventually, the suspects lost control of the stolen vehicle and crashed into a retention ditch in front of a gas station. All 7 of the juveniles that were in that vehicle fled on foot, and they were all apprehended by police that day. Please look at the monitor to show you a video of what took place that day. Again, they were all taken into custody without further incident. I want to thank the dedicated detectives and our auto crimes detectives who have been working so diligently to curb this explosion in auto thefts. I'd also like to recognize the officers and detectives from other JSO units that were instrumental in this investigation. Our CPR detectives, our RVCU detectives, and our patrol officers from District 5. Through our social media platforms, JSO has repeatedly pushed out warnings to owners of Kias and Hyundais of the increased risk of auto theft recently associated with these brands. If you own a Kia or a Hyundai, I urge you to reach out to your vehicle manufacturer to see if there is an available software upgrade to mitigate the risk of theft. Likewise, owners of these vehicle brands may want to explore anti-theft immobilizers as another tool to protect their property. Personally, I'm saddened and outraged that young men, young people, are using social media as a means of educating themselves on criminal behavior. And quite frankly, I've seen social media take down different things that were much less problematic. As I've said countless times, we cannot and will not tolerate victimization of members of this community, even if those committing these crimes are juveniles. These juveniles cases will now be appropriately handled by our state attorney's office. They are our partners. And because there are pending cases, I cannot provide additional information at this time or evidence because of the offenders and the case is ongoing. However, I'll answer any questions at this time that I can.
What kind of outreach is there for children in those situations if they're all children?
Well, we outreach by arresting them for committing felonies. That's how we do it. But next, after that, we'll allow the state attorney's office, who are very astute in handling these type situations, especially with young juveniles, to put them in programs to help them as they move along. We do everything we can to stop this, but when you commit felonies in our city, we're going to have to do something about it, and we will.
Would you be able to, just a follow-up question, talk a little bit about some of those programs that are out there for the youth?
There's a lot. And as a matter of fact, we'll get you some of that stuff. It's too much to name here.
And how many of those car thefts are those 7 are being connected to, and will they be charged as adults?
No. Well, I can't speak for the state attorney, but I can tell you in a situation like this, normally with a 10-year-old, for example, they will not be charged an adult. It's not a violent crime. There's a robbery, some robberies connected to it, but that's going to be left up to the state. But I can imagine moving forward, they're going to do it, and they're going to do it appropriately and get them the help that they need.
Thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you.